artist this evening, Holly with Atomic Avocado. I don't know. I just had to say it like that. It's just, I feel like, Atomic Avocado.
You make it sound better than I can. Thanks, Jeff.
I was going to say that's my stage name when I'm, on the weekends, but that might take us down a whole different path.
It's okay. I'll share. I've got designs at the end of my name, so that's fine.
All right. So let's talk about your art and what you do. Ultra mid-century modern, and an amazing piece there behind you over your shoulder. I can see that.
It's my prized possession. It's an original Whitco world map.
Wow.
I got it at an estate sale about 3 or 4 years ago, not far from me in Flagstaff. So I'm basically out of Phoenix, Arizona. And yeah, so, like, I don't know if any of you have traveled to Phoenix. I think one of you had one of a tiki bar here.
I've been to, Adam has been to Phoenix for the Undertow, and my son lives there in, well, now he lives in Phoenix, but he's moving to Gilbert. So,
okay.
But yeah, and I lived in Tucson for a number of years. So yeah, I've been to Phoenix.
And so I don't have to explain that, there's definitely a big presence of, the tiki culture here, mid-century modern, they go hand in hand. And, I'm fortunate to live in the part of the country that it's very much celebrated. So yeah, and I appreciate that you asked me to be on here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you too have some really cool art. I love what you're creating. So do you have some things you can share with the audience?
I do. So I've got a few examples here. I'll show you, but basically what I do is I create mid-century modern designs, stylized designs, just accent pieces to give your house a stellar sense of curb appeal, whether it be inside or out. Sometimes you just need that little cherry on top, just something to just kind of create the presence that you're looking for. Whether you're living in a vintage home or a new build, you just kind of want that, just a little something, and so basically what I do is everything that I create is pretty much customized, absolutely everything. I have a bunch of designs in my shop, so most of what I sell is online. I had originally started in the whole, having a booth, trying that whole thing, and then COVID hit, right? So we all know how that goes. And so I turned my business online. So everything that I offer is on my Etsy page. So I can always give a link to that later, but essentially.
We have it in the chat, don't worry.
Okay, I appreciate that. So I make personalized signs. So here we've got it's probably showing reverse to you guys, but.
Nope, it is absolutely, it shows reverse to you, but it's perfect for us.
Okay, super. So this is an example of one of the tiki bar signs that I make. Anything you see here could be changed. So I customize all of the colors, everything on my Etsy. You can pick what color flower, what verbiage, everything that you want. And so, of course, I bring the tiki one up because, that's what we're talking about. But
well, yeah,
right. But most people who like tiki, like mid-century modern, they go hand in hand. I've got a lot of other designs that I make, and they're usually revolving around cocktails, so something like martini time. And you notice there's a lot of delicate edges, so I'm very careful with how I ship everything. Everything that I make, typically it's float mounted. So there are little pieces on the back here that I include the hardware for that snap into place. So they stand off of the wall to kind of give it some extra dimension.
Nice.
Just a little 3D effect, but you'd be surprised, just one piece like this. And I can speak from experience because I created this business out of a need for what I wanted for my own home. I started with needing one mailbox, and I wanted an orange mailbox, and I couldn't find one anywhere. So I created one. And so essentially that's how everything got started. And not long after that, I wanted a welcome sign for the house. So I made that too. And then, quickly it gained interest from other people like you guys, who essentially have the same enthusiasm and passion for mid-century modern design. And you just would be surprised how much one little piece can transform a room. And so that's what all I'm trying to do is just help folks kind of deliver that vision that they have that they know that they have in their head, but I can help create it for them. So.
Yeah, we've got a bourbon and wine bar that we're putting into our house, in addition to the Tiki bar. And as soon as I saw that piece, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could see it totally in the rec room. That would be amazing. Would love to do that. Yeah.
Right, and pop a color. I'm always about color. You know, a lot of people get pretty generic. I mean, if you just have that one piece that captivates somebody's eye, and you know, it just speaks volumes. And I talked about curb appeal before, but I try to make designs that deliver that idea, but that are practical. So something like this design, for example, kind of based on like think of like a mid-century modern room divider. You know, and so again, everything is customized, personalized. So your address numbers, doesn't matter how many numbers, I just make them smaller or bigger to fill the space. But everything you see here, this person selected absolutely every color that they want. So just another example.
Now are these made from plexiglass? Is that what they are?
Yeah, they're actually made out of 100% cast acrylic, which
Okay.
is really durable for the outdoor use. So extreme heat, extreme cold, sun exposure. They don't fade. They're just very, very durable compared to, you know, wood, which you have to treat, and even then it can fade. But I even have, for example, acrylic that looks like wood. So something like this. This is actually made out of acrylic. And so essentially, I should turn that. So essentially something like this, it's going to be good to go, whether you live in Palm Springs, Florida, Canada. I ship all over the world, Sweden, Germany, you name it, but this will last, you know, in the outdoors.
So now what drew you to the mid-century modern? Is it being in the Phoenix? I mean, the Southwest, that's where mid-century is, man. From Phoenix to Palm Springs to Las Vegas, that's the hot spot. I mean, is that what drew you in?
I wish I could say that. I actually grew up in the Midwest, in
Okay.
St. Louis, Missouri. And about 25 years ago, the first home that I ever bought was a 1960s ranch, brick ranch. And I always had an affection for vintage things, but when I moved into that house and just the layout of it and the lofted ceilings and everything, and the hardwood floors that I pulled up, you know, from underneath the carpet, that's when like everything clicked, you know. And the vintage bathrooms, I had a pink sink, I had a mint green toilet, you know, all of those things that we covet. But that's when everything clicked. And ever since then, it's just, you know, I live and breathe this stuff. So before I did this, I was actually a funeral director for well over 20 years. And my wife and I, we had a son. And so I stayed at home with him. This is what, about 6-7 years ago. And so getting back to work, I thought, you know what? I'm ready for something different and something that really speaks to me. And I had a background in theater, in backstage lighting and props and sets. And I've always felt like I decorated my home like it was a set, like this is a prop. I've got fake drinks actually all over the place. Like literally,
Wait,
here, hold on.
You have fake drinks? Wait a minute.
Yeah, hold on.
I'm not letting that one slide.
Yeah. So this is my little bar in here, and these are all fake drinks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah.
That is
I love a
awesome.
good prop. And so I just was fortunate enough that I was able to just kind of reshift my thinking and basically be able to design things that I always had an eye for. And but to get back to your question, it wasn't from living down here. I've lived down here in Phoenix for about 13 years, but it's definitely been a transformation over the years.
Yeah, because actually, if it was inspired from your living down there, you probably would be doing howling coyotes and cactus.
Oh yeah.
Plants.
Yeah. Some of that you kind of cringe. You're like, okay, I've seen that, and then then you drive through other neighborhoods and you're like, why don't I live here? Like we lived in Central Phoenix for well over 13 years, and we just recently moved a little bit further west out to Goodyear, but the same aesthetic, and we're learning too, kind of to help other customers who are thinking about designs. Even if you live in a new build, you can still make it mid-century modern with the right touches, the right furniture, the right accent pieces, things like this. And
Oh,
lots of
100,
work. So,
100%.
yeah.
My wife, as I said, we're moving into a new house here in Indiana. I'm in a temporary home now. She said she's built her ideal coastal home in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you pick out those pieces that just bring that vibe, and that's the home that you create. So I could totally see that.
Exactly. Because there's, even with a vintage home, a historic home, which we lived in for, again, a lot of years, there's still things that need to be done, but even then, people have usually remodeled them over the years, and if you want to bring it back to what it was originally designed to look like and feel like, I can help do that. So whether it be just a welcome sign or an address sign or something for your bar, that's what I do. So
absolutely amazing stuff. And we've got your info in the chat. Sam has put that in there, Atomic Avocado Designs. So thank you very much for joining. Love what you're doing. Absolutely incredible. And please tell me that you didn't get that Whitco for like $10 at that estate sale.
I can't say that. It was reasonable. And I hightailed it 2 hours away to go get it as soon as I could. But no, I'm not one of those. I'm not that lucky.
Yeah, I in fact, I was looking at a couple more pictures I got tonight for it. I have a Whitco 7 foot, what is it? 7 foot 2, 7, no, 6'8". It's a 6'8" stat Whitco fountain that my buddy's brother had in high school, and I remember it back in the day. And unfortunately, my buddy's brother passed away, and his spouse is now, former spouse, widow, there we go, that's the word, was looking to get rid of it. And so my buddy reached out to me. He goes, so we have this statue, that leaky Tiki. Deb wants to get rid of it. How much is it worth? It was done by somebody named Whitco. I was like, okay, wait, what?
Huh?
That statue that I remember from back in the day, it's worth like $10. I'll come and get it from you. No, I looked online, saw what a good price was, and I said, this is what I'm seeing online. Just so you know, it's kind of a big deal. And I was able to drive up to South Bend, pick it up, and it's gonna be one of my my favoriteest pieces in the new house. So
I love the road trip stories. Yeah, like if somebody spent 4 hours each way going to get their favorite piece, that's the best way to get it.
Oh, I tell you what, all of that happened when I was still living in Southern California and had no inkling that I was going to be moving to Indiana. I was like, I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to drive the 2 days to get to South Bend, Indiana, and pick up this Whitco and drive back. And I was looking to do that tour like Adam did and stop at all the tiki bars along the way. But instead I moved to Indiana. So, oh well, shorter drive. And
well, and you guys have motivated me. Now, next time I go out to an estate sale, if I don't stop by a tiki bar, I'm doing it wrong, apparently.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, you must do that. All right. Well, thank you very much, Holly. Amazing work. Love seeing your stuff.
Thank you.
And your art, spot on, man. I'm looking at it going, that is phenomenal. I could see it coming from that era. It just speaks to that. Now, have you ever, before I let you go, have you ever thought of doing, I love the spike, that spike ball, that neon spike ball. That's one of my images as a kid from a laundromat, I think it was, or some other places. They have that sphere with the spike.
Yeah, I basically, I've got one that's actually similar, but where it gets tricky with my designs, because I want them to be durable, especially during shipping. When you get into very, very like spiky edges, you've got to just be very careful because they're very fragile, and I actually take quite pride in how I package things to ship. But essentially, something like that would just need a little bit of a tweaking of a design, but I love that idea. you know, to do that. And so like people like you who say, hey, what about this? I really like this. What can you recreate that? For the most part, I can. I may have to tweak it according to like how the materials work, because I want to give you a product that's going to last you a lifetime and then some. And so something like that, I would just have to just kind of play with a little bit, but you know, anything's possible, right?
Well, yes, fake drinks included. So yeah. So
Sure.
thank you very much. As I said, all your info's in the chat. Make sure to go check out Atomic Avocado Designs. Way cool stuff. Way cool stuff.
Thanks
So
for having me. I really appreciate it. I've
All
enjoyed
right.
everything. You guys have enlightened my world.
Well, thank you. I'm glad we got to help to get your year started off right.
You betcha.
All right.
Tiki Trail Live.